Conrad Weiser, 1-0 YO missing. On YO missing's first possession, they get it going right off the bat. Mason Smith's going to take the carry, go to the outside, find the sideline, and go the distance. 43-yard touchdown for Mason Smith. Spartans are up early 7-0, and they weren't done. Later in the quarter, they have the ball again. Justin Causa making a dash of his own to the corner of the end zone. Loses the helmet here. That's never a good idea, but he's okay. And YO missing's okay because now they're up 14-0. Weather delay after that didn't delay the Spartans, though. When they get back to it, the Notre Dame commit, Alex Anzalone, breaks a couple of half-hearted arm tackles there, and he goes in for a 28-yard score. YO missing looks good. They are up. They win 42-7, so 2 routes en route to a 2-0 start for the Spartans.
Through 2 weeks of football, the YO missing Spartans are making things look pretty easy. They've dominated 2 opponents to get 2 big wins to open their season. Things might be getting a little tougher this week. 2-0 Muhlenberg. Now, this is a game that for many years was one of the games on the schedule that would determine division champions within Berks County. And we could be back to that this year, and that's why YO missing is focusing on getting better in practice this week, knowing they could be in a much tougher fight this Friday.
Sometimes, like, getting up those big points gets our head a lot sometimes, and we think, like, oh, we're already in the lead. Like, we can just kind of take it easy, but then that's when the coaches get mad.
There was a period of time where we sort of went to sleep a little bit offensively, especially. So, you know, I think we have to play every play and not be a team that falls asleep, you know, when you get ahead a little bit.
Speaking of no English football here tonight, we have real hard-nosed American football and a very big game tonight over at Muhlenberg High School, where YO missing was hoping to stay perfect against a Muhlenberg team that's been perfect so far this year. A little bit of a resurgence there for Muhlenberg as they started their season very well. But opening drive for YO missing, it's 3rd down, and Joseph Cascione rolls right and then throws to Lloyd Specker. Specker makes the catch there, 39 yards for the touchdown, 7-0 YO missing at that point. Next YO missing drive, they go right back to it, and they give it to their Notre Dame-bound tailback, Alex Anzalone, from a yard out, just kind of runs that one in untouched. 14-0 YO missing at that point. Second quarter now, Muhlenberg trying to get back in this thing with some offense. Adam Huber drops back, finds Elias Quinter. Quinter for 30 yards and the touchdown. Look at the grab there in the corner of the end zone. It's 14-7. They're right back in it. But ensuing kickoff, Gerald Burns takes it from the 18, goes 82 yards and scores the touchdown, 21-7 there. YO missing goes on to win 34-7. They are still undefeated. More highlights coming up on the big ticket. Speaking of, it was a big day at YO missing High School today. The Spartans don't play until tomorrow. They'll host Blue Mountain, but Alex Anzalone, who's going to Notre Dame, has also been now selected for the Under Armour All-American Bowl. They had a ceremony today at YO missing High School. They give him his jersey. He even got to speak about it. Anzalone's pretty excited about the opportunity not only to represent YO missing, but to do it on a stage that's as big as the Under Armour All-American game.
Well, my goal was originally play college, but I know that I could excel as much as any other player in the country, but just, yeah, I guess that was a little motivation for me, just something that I wanted to do, and I guess it paid off.
Speaking of movie, on the big ticket, there's a big football game at YO missing High School tomorrow. The Spartans, who are having a very good year, as expected by many, many people, will go up a couple of levels in terms of classification and try to get a win over a Quad A team from Pleasant Valley. A Pleasant Valley team that certainly knows how to score points. So this is a big game for YO missing in terms of points for the playoffs and in terms of kind of setting the tone for what could be a very big second half of their season.
We always like to test ourselves, and you know, we have to play our league games the second half of the year now. But, you know, looking to get ready for the playoffs, you always want to play some strong competition.
We feel up to the challenge. I feel like we've played, you know, quite well so far this year, and we plan to come out and give it our all.
First 4 games, YO missing had not only beaten every opponent they'd faced, but they had outscored those opponents 148-14. Today's test figured to be a bit tougher for the Spartans, though, as 3-1 Pleasant Valley came to town. Good non-league matchup this afternoon, and it would really be entertaining. Second quarter, we start. Pleasant Valley's already up 7-0 at this point. Brandon Leap to Andrew Romeo. It's a 63-yard touchdown. So Pleasant Valley up on undefeated YO. 14-0. Nobody had ever even hung with YO to this point. But YO answers. First play of the second half. It's a 14-7 game at this point. Alex Anzalone, the Notre Dame recruit, 50 yards right down the sideline. So that ties things up at 14 apiece. And Anzalone wasn't done. On YO's next possession, they give it to the big fella again, and why not? to the same sideline, to the same results. 52-yard touchdown for Anzalone, 21 unanswered for the Spartans. They're up 21-14. Pleasant Valley response, fourth quarter. Leap, 15 yards to Sekou Jones. And that's a touchdown that ties it up at 21. Wyomissing would then kick a field goal to take a 3-point lead, and then later in the fourth, Mason Smith, 35 yards for the touchdown. Pleasant Valley would answer with a long touchdown of its own, but it wasn't enough. Wyomissing finally gets challenged, but they respond to that challenge. They stay undefeated, 31-27. They beat Pleasant Valley.
We bounced back from some adversity, and we were down 14-7 at half. They were pushing us around, but we showed some toughness with this game.
But tonight marked the biggest.
Wilson also won. We'll have highlights of that game coming up for you. Their showdown with Lancaster Catholic on the big ticket as well. Well, Wyomissing head coach Bob Wolfram will coach his 300th game tomorrow. The Spartans are hoping to get a win over Fleetwood in that game. Certainly his players know all about it and don't want to let their coach down in a historic milestone kind of football game. On the other hand, Wyomissing has cruised to this point in the season, and they understand Fleetwood may not be the toughest test they've had, but if they let up, if they don't come focused and ready to play, anybody can bite them. So they're focused on making sure they're as prepared as possible this week.
The first half of our schedule was as tough as any we've ever played, and we came through that real well. Now we have a couple weeks with teams that are down a little bit this year, but we got to get better. It doesn't matter what the score is this week and next week. We need to get better so that we're ready for the last two games in the playoffs.
Wyomissing putting its undefeated record on the line against Fleetwood today. Big day. Bob Wolfram's 300th game on the sidelines. Also, WYO inducted its first ever class into the Hall of Fame today. So a lot of excitement surrounding this game this afternoon. And boy, the Spartan players, well, they took the spotlight and ran with it. The defensive touchdown there by Joshua Naylor after the strip by Jericho Reyes. It was 21-0 Wyomissing at that point. Coach Wolfram always stoic though on the sidelines. Second quarter, Alex Anzalone, the big fella, the Notre Dame recruit. Notre Dame won an exciting game today. Anzalone must have liked that. And he likes that too. Untouched 37-yard touchdown, 28-0 at that point. Later in the quarter, WYO on 3rd and long. Joseph Caccione going to air it out to Lloyd Spencer for the 45-yard score. WYO was up 45-0 at the half. They beat Fleetwood 52-6. So a win for Coach Wolfram in his 300th game. Also,
thank you, Wendy. It's when you watch Wyomissing football, you just kind of get the sense that right now they're a train rolling through Berks County the way they've played so far this year. The Spartans are clearly the dominant team in terms of the small schools, and they're hoping that'll mean a District 3 championship down the road. Tonight, speaking of being down the road, they were on the road in Hamburg at Hawk Stadium taking on the Hamburg Hawks, and took no time at all to get things going. Up 7-0 in the first. Brandon Gonzalez right up the middle. And then plenty of blocking, and then he's gone. 38 yards for the touchdown there. 14-0 Spartans early in the football game. Next Wyomissing possession, it's Notre Dame bound Alex Anzalone up the middle there. And then look, he's going to cut this one back outside. And, they're just not going to catch him. 47 yards as he cruises into the end zone. 21-0 Spartans there. Same score second quarter. Wyomissing on the doorstep again. Joseph Caccione rolls out and finds Mason Smith for the short touchdown. That was a 5-yard score. They called the game in the third quarter because of the weather, but Wyomissing gets the win tonight, 42-6. Your final score in Hamburg.
Wyomissing and Hamburg. The Spartans making a rare appearance on the big ticket tonight, a cameo, if you will. And there's Bob Wolfram, the rock star himself, of course, and Wyomissing in Hamburg tonight. And this one was all Spartans, leading 7-0 in the first quarter. Brandon Gonzalez, triple hot this, straight up the middle, follows his blockers, and busts off a 38-yard run into the end zone. He scored the first touchdown, so his second score puts Wyomissing up 14-0. Now here's the other rock star in Wyomissing, Alex Anzalone. Just, being Alex Anzalone, there's really not much more to say about this. No one's catching him. 47 yards to the house. 21-0 Spartans on top. Same score in the second quarter. Wyomissing at the doorstep. This is Joseph Caccione rolling out, dunking it off to Mason Smith, and he's got it there. Easy score for 5 yards. Wyomissing extends the lead to 28-0. And midway through the second quarter, it got worse. Justin Causa getting to the edge, cutting it upfield, takes it all the way down to the Hamburg 5-yard line. A triple-headed monster of Anzalone, Causa, and Smith, nearly unstoppable. So the 40-yard scamper there, and Causa would finish what he started, plowing it in from the goal line. 35-0 Spartans on top. And just before halftime, Thomas Paolini, Forza Italia, my friend. Always good to hear a nice Italian name here on this show. 26 yards on this touchdown run. Nice broken tackle there, getting through the arms, and takes that one in. 42-0 Wyomissing at halftime. This game would be called in the third quarter due to weather as the